The typical advice I give when people ask me how to be a good Scrum Master, how to be a great Scrum Master, is to read the latest version of the Scrum Guide 2020. Read it multiple times, understand it, and put it in practice with your Scrum team. Be patient. It's gonna take a few weeks, a few months, or even years for you to really understand agility, Scrum. But in today's video, I want to be a little less vague. There are some specific knowledge, concepts, skills, situations that I've seen a lot of Scrum Masters struggling with in 2022. And since we are in the very beginning of 2023, it's the ideal time to build a plan. Build a plan for the year on how to grow, how to improve all these skills, how to handle these situations. And this is what we'll cover in this video. Number one, continuous improvement. This mindset of continuous improvement in terms of knowledge, in terms of skills, and not only for you, but also for your colleagues, your team, the whole organization. You are here for that, to preach this mindset of continuous improvement and ensure that people in the organization understand it and are practicing it. But it all starts with you understanding that as a Scrum Master, you'll need to be constantly refining your skills, your knowledge, reading books, taking courses. So start reading right now. If you're not doing it, start reading blogs on Agile, on Scrum, books on project management, on Agile, on Scrum. But not only that, remember the core of your skills, soft skills. You need to be able to have a certain influence on the team, on the whole organization without authority. That's hard to do. Persuading people, asking powerful questions, coaching, teaching, communicating well, presentation skills, all these things. Read books, take courses, watch videos, watch more of my videos. I have nearly 200 videos now on this channel. But again, not only for you. Preach this mindset and ensure that everyone in the team has a goal somewhere written in their plan for 2023 to read, to take courses, and to grow in their particular field. Check the description of this video for a list of books that I recommend. Go for quality instead of quantity. It's way better to read in the next year. You read only one book, 2 books, maybe 3 books, but you apply all the important concepts. Put them into practice. Be good at these instead of reading 100 books and not applying anything. Number 2, attend at least one meetup every single month in 2023. There's 3 things I love about meetups. First, you will become very trendy. When attending these meetups, you'll be aware of all the latest trends in your industry about agility, about Scrum, about all these soft skills that we talked about. You'll learn new things, new tricks, new tips, new skills. Second, you get to know people, other Scrum Masters, other Agile coaches, other people in the community. You get to learn from them, you get to know them, learn from their challenges, see what they are doing in their organization. And number 3, you get to talk, improve your skills as a speaker if you are comfortable enough sharing a topic. It doesn't need to be some specific knowledge that you just invented. No, it can be something that you read from a book and put into practice. An experiment that you're trying with your team right now can be anything, but it's an incredible experience speaking in front of a large audience. Number 3, understanding that there's no failures, there's only opportunities to learn. This is something that you need to understand, your colleagues need to understand, your team, the whole organization, but it's gonna take time. We are being raised by our parents, schooling system into believing that we fail when we don't get what we want. That's called a failure and we need to be ashamed of it. It's wrong. It's simply wrong. If we see an opportunity and we work towards that individually or as a team, but we don't get it, that's okay. We get feedback. We collect this feedback, this data, and we learn from it and we try again. Maybe next time we'll fail and we try again, always improving, and we go on and on. That's what agility is all about, the core of agility. Think about it. We work in sprints. The Scrum framework recommends that we build a potentially shippable increment every single sprint of a product, an increment of a product every single sprint. Why do we do that? Agile principle number 1, our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Early delivery. Why early? To get feedback from customers. Let's talk about the old model first, the waterfall model. In the waterfall model, we were working on requirements for months, building a huge documentation and then starting to build based on this huge documentation. And maybe it took months, years to build something, and we released it in one go. We tested it on the market when the customer was using it. Years later, and we realized that sometimes it failed. Customers didn't want that because we made assumptions. We thought that the customer would want that, and we took years to test it because we took years to build it. But with agility, it's different. Every single sprint, we are releasing something to the customer. Get feedback from the customer. If we fail, there's nothing wrong with that. We get feedback, we build another thing in the next sprint, we release it again to the customer and again to the customer, and it goes on and on. There's no waste of time because we are always making assumptions because we don't know what the customer wants. Remember that you are not your customer. You can only make assumptions based on the data that you have. You might be right, you might sometimes be wrong. So you make assumptions and you test these assumptions every 2 weeks or every 1 week if you work in 1 week sprint. But that doesn't matter. You test these assumptions early to get feedback, to improve, and you test it, test again. This is something that agility gives you. And this is something that you can apply in every aspects of your life. You're learning a new skill, you're practicing it and you're failing. Learn from it, improve on it, and keep going. Never stop, keep going. Number 4, be the go-to person for impediments, resolving impediments for your Scrum team. There should be an open communication at any point during the daily Scrum or at any point during the day. The team should be able to raise impediments, call you, go talk to you at your desk, send you a chat. They should be able to do that, and you need to be available to resolve these impediments. Now, there's a lot of confusion around the whole concept of impediment. Let's quickly go through it. An impediment is not only a blocker, something blocking you. No, it's anything slowing you down, preventing you from reaching the priority of a sprint. What's the priority of a sprint? The sprint goal. Anything preventing you from reaching your commitments that you did in the sprint planning, that we wanted in this sprint, will complete this sprint goal. Anything blocking you, anything slowing you down, anything preventing you from meeting this sprint goal, that's an impediment. And the role of a Scrum Master is to cause the removal of impediments. So basically, help the team identify impediments, resolve impediments, and ensure that the team don't ignore impediments. Many people think that the Scrum Master is the owner of impediments, who resolve all the impediments, be the go-to person. I just mentioned that, but that's only maybe for new teams, inexperienced teams in agility or Scrum. But at some point, the team needs to be able to self-manage, self-organize, be responsible for all these impediments. It's not said in the Scrum Guide that the Scrum Master should resolve impediments. No, causes the removal of impediments. Help the team, supports the team. For new Scrum teams, it might be hard to do that because people might need the Scrum Master to resolve the impediments. But then, at some point, you need to take a step back as a Scrum Master. Let them take the ownership of these impediments. Raise these impediments. Ensure that they don't ignore these impediments. Help them resolve them. But don't do it yourself. Because if you keep resolving these impediments, the Scrum team will never be fully self-managed. And you will be the impediment. Because you're preventing the team from being self-managed. Fully efficient, fully effective. And talking about self-management, number 5, ensure that the team can decide what to build, how to build it, who builds it, and by when they build it, by when they release it. That's what self-management is all about. And again, the core of agility, a core of a Scrum team. Scrum doesn't work if the team is not self-managed. Scrum doesn't work if stakeholders are micromanaging the team. Directors, management, telling the team what to do, setting deadlines on the team. No, that doesn't work like that. They are the experts. The Scrum team, they are the experts. They have an open line, communication line with the customers. They are the ones who know what to build. With all the data, let them decide. Let them estimate the work. Let them tell you technically how to build it. Let them be self-managed. And as a Scrum Master, you need to be able to shield the team. Prevent other stakeholders, because they will come. These stakeholders will come, will try to infiltrate the team. Talk directly with the developers, tell them what to do. No, Stop that. Shield the team. Prevent stakeholders from distracting the team. Let them be self-managed. Trust the team. Trust that they will do a good job. And cross-functionality is also important. A team that has all the competencies, skills, knowledge, accesses to systems, all these things to be able to build this potentially shippable increment of a product every single sprint. If they can do that, they are a cross-functional team. But if they need other teams, other people in other teams, other people in the organization, that's a dependency. A dependency. And honestly, one of the main things that I see killing Scrum, preventing Scrum from working well, is dependency. So try to reduce dependencies on other teams, other people outside the team to a bare minimum. Which brings me to my next point. If you want more tips, insights on Agile, Scrum, personal growth, click on the video that stands out the most on the screen right now. And I'll see you in a few seconds.